Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things LEGO. Hit the link below to find a store near you. Hey everyone, Joshua Hanlon here at Bricks Cascade in Portland, and today we're taking a look at an updated version of the incredible Bunkers collaborative layout. We've covered this a few years in the past here, and this year there are over, I think, 80 bunkers, 225 units, just tons of builders involved, tons of new bunkers this year that we're excited for. So we've got a couple of the collaborators and organizers here with us. If you want to introduce yourselves.
I'm Dave Morgan.
I'm Rob Willing.
Okay, awesome. So we'll kind of start in here at this end and then make our way through. So if you want to start in, tell us kind of what do we have at the beginning.
Sure, yeah. So at the beginning here, it's kind of separate from the rest of them, but we got this wonderful little thief bunker here, donation depository. We just have a thief in the bunker community. So they've been kind of ransacking the bunkers and getting what they can, and now it's up to our general public to figure out where those elements came from so they can get back to the rightful owners. So kind of leading into it, starting at the bottom here, we got the horn and heart. So back in the day, the early 60s, 70s, it was a very popular kind of restaurant theme that you would pay a coin and grab a meal from a cupboard, a locked cupboard. So they modeled that kind of as a post-apocalyptic kind of cafe type thing. And then above it we have an accident waiting to happen, which is some explosive barrels right next to some radioactive waste, which is still glowing and providing its own charge, things like that, which is exactly what you want over a restaurant.
Exactly.
Let's see. So above that we have a paintball pit, because why not? You need some recreation, you need some cardio, things like that, and why not get pelted a few times?
I love that so much, especially it looks like we've got some like actual paint in there.
It is, yeah. So the builder was really excited about putting actual like paintball, and they actually grabbed some paintballs and squirted them on some of the individual units, and it's completely washable and it won't stay enclosed or anything like that. And that was something that they were very specific. They told me, it's like, this is completely washable. It's not going to stain my Lego or anything like that. So don't let the general community, go up in arms against what I've done here.
Very fun idea. What are these next couple here?
So above that, we got the pirate's life. If you're going to be in a bunker with Captain Sparrow, what would that look like? So we have a couple of people hanging out, enjoying some pizza with some swords, some whips on the walls there, things like that. Things you're going to need from your ship on occasion. And then let's see, yeah, a few of these we just don't have cards for. They're late entries. So the one above that is the done by a builder called Zonker Harris. It was basically, his dream bunker. He wanted a climbing rope to keep his fitness up, and then, the wall of weapons to protect oneself as you do post-apocalyptic.
Now, along the lines of late entries, we actually had people bringing bunkers in. This is being shot on a Saturday, and we had people bringing them in today to add to the collab, which is usually we get them all by Thursday and maybe Friday, but not this time.
Yeah. Which can make things interesting when you're already full, right? You're trying to figure out where to put these late entries is always a challenge.
Yeah, we had to go up to a 6th level, which we were trying to avoid to do, but we had no choice because we ran out of room.
It looks like you made it work. I like the Van Gogh one here is very nice.
Yeah. So let's see. That one's going to be. It looks like Home Sweet Home. So it was basically just kind of like, what would that look like, right? So you got a wonderful painter studio and then a place to rest next to it. And then, we got some Japanese style pods for sleeping in, right? Not much for comfort, but good for rest and relaxation. It's nice quiet room.
And it's really well lit, and the lighting just really makes those pods pop, which I think is very cool.
This is a very fun one going on here.
Yeah, there's a story there.
Yeah, so we've been trying to be very kid-friendly with that one and try not to give away too much of the secrets, but it's actually a bunker. So it's a set of 3 bunkers that are all kind of associated with one another in an L shape. So up top we have where's the teepee. We needed storage for our toilet paper and a few stalls in which to utilize. And then if the builder was nice enough to point out that if you follow the piping down to the next one to our recycling center, that is where the food gets recycled and made back into something that resembles pizza. And then next to it, we have Eat Recycled Food, which is now being served to the general public. Don't know how healthy that is, but it's good for the environment. So hey, let's do it.
It's one of those bunkers you don't want to think too hard about what it's really
You
trying.
can't be picky in the bunkers.
No, you sure can't. And as theme coordinators, as collaborators, we can't be picky either. So, no, it's a great story. It's funny when kids come up and it's like, oh, there's a toilet, and then they kind of start to piece it together, what's going on, and it's just like, ew, and they wander off and go do other things. So it's not too scarring, luckily.
Now, it looks like, is this next one 2 levels here?
It is, yeah. So that's a 2x3. It looks like. And the Snow Bricks Dream Bunker, it looks like it's kind of a collab between a different group, the Snow Bricks, and it's just, once again, it's kind of, if they had to live underground, what would that look like? So they got their stuffed animals and a beautiful living space and a nice looking kitchen too. I'm kind of jealous.
Now we've got the rocket ship here, which I think we've seen before, but was there some added lights?
Yeah. He brought it back and added these lights down at the bottom, which just really makes it pop. And he did also kind of I was talking to him yesterday, and he kind of redid some of the sides to make the diagonal pieces a little bit stronger. But that's cool. And of course, it has the sheep with the chainsaw. That's a great part. But yeah, the lights are fantastic.
Yeah, lighting, especially for some large explosion like this at the bottom, is just fantastic. But then this next one here, I thought was really, really cool. Caught my eye earlier. So which one is this?
Yeah, so that's the Ye Old Pub, done by a beautiful builder. We featured her several years going now, and it's just amazing the type of builds that come out of just this little collab that continues to grow each year.
So many talented builders, and she's definitely one of them.
The multiple levels there is really nice. I love the flooring as well. But then down below that, very different direction. It looks like more of a water bunker.
Yeah, so this is more like a water park, right? It's Escape to Paradise. So, as you can see, they're trying to actually get into a paradise on the ladder there after raiding the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles bunker down below for some pizza as they're running up trying to get back to their little paradise.
I mean, you have underground rivers, right? So, there you go. That would feed it.
Get some Duplo down here as well.
Yeah, the Duplo is always a favorite because it just kind of shows you what you can do with the variety of Lego pieces that they have provided over the years. And it's the ongoing kind of question we pose to kids, like, how do the elephants get there? And how are they going to get out? And it's interesting kind of seeing some of the stories the kids will come up with something so simple as just a couple of elephants in a bunker.
I love these tiny micro ones as well. That's super fun.
Yeah, I'm always impressed with microscale. It's really hard to do something and make the details come off. And so these builders are just so good at doing it.
Now, we have covered countless great ball contraptions on Beyond the Brick, but I think this is the first GBC module we've seen in the bunkers, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, absolutely. I was so excited to see that, and it really works well. It has a little bit of finickiness, as do all GBC modules, but it works really well, and it's just so neat, again, to see the creativity that our builders are bringing to the bunker collab. It's so fantastic.
Yeah, it's been fun to babysit it and just kind of poke it every now and again because it just makes you feel like you really are working with a GBC build. So, but yeah, no, the colors really pop. The fact that it adds motion to the bunker really just draws in the crowds, and we've seen a lot of oohs and ahs, particularly with this one.
What is the general storyline of what's going on here?
So it's a firefighting house, which is under fire, right? So they're actually trying to put out their own firehouse with this one, which is appropriately called Putting Out the Fires.
And then this one is also very nice in here. Just feels very kind of fancy, rugs, lots of books. I like that.
Yeah, so that's our bunker library. So it's just a nice communal place just to kind of wind down, read a good book, and try to salvage the books that we have, which they might be sweating a little bit with the fire going on right above them, but they're oblivious at this point.
That's definitely the place I would want to chill. That's kind of the bunker I'd want.
And is this like a treasure room up here?
Yeah, so whenever you have priceless artifacts and powerful artifacts, you want a place to showcase them. So that is our artifact museum that was presented that year, and this is a brand new one for this year as well.
I know we've seen Batman versus the Joker. That's always a classic down there. Then is that a floor is lava bunker?
It is, yeah. So it's a lava training center for our Ninjago ninjas. as they get ready for whatever they gotta do. But yeah, floor is lava. It's a good show, good ride, and even better bunker.
And some colorful Looney Tunes here is also fun.
Yeah, that one has been here before, but it's great to see, some cheery, fat, nice stuff going on underground, and you got all the colors popping. So it's definitely a lot of fun. I like the one below it. That's a new entry this year, and we've had like one bunker last year that was double depth on part of it, but this entire thing is double depth. John should be able to get down and see it because it goes way back. I don't really know what the story is about the bunker itself. What's going on there? Do you know?
So it's a bar. It's a place to kind of hang out and enjoy yourself. It's a neighborhood pub. They got billiards, they got their drinks flowing, stuff like that, and a little dance hall. And the dance hall itself is really quite interesting because they're using a technique to get spaces in between the 2x2 tiles, which is kind of really fun to see when people can kind of use various techniques to get some really cool really textures and shapes.
Next to that, in kind of the next section, we've got what looks like a Barbie-inspired kind of stack of 4 here.
Yeah, so it's an apartment building, and it's really kind of interesting because they're staying with the scale, right? It's a 3-high bunker, but they've managed to math it out correctly to where they can have 4 levels within 3 spaces. So yeah, it's been really creative. The colors really pop. It's another one that really does draw the eyes of kids in particular to that build, and the use of lights is just amazing as well.
What is this tree build that's coming way out at us down here?
I love that one. That's a new build for this first time, and it's great to see. We had to put it on the bottom because there wouldn't be a lot of support, but it's great to see people doing stuff coming out. I don't know what the details of the bunker itself are, though.
Yeah, so it's a new builder actually. First time, as I understood it, coming to Bricks Cascade or any convention really. So, and that's kind of another one of those things that's really cool about the bunker build is since it is such a kind of a small space in which to work, it doesn't take a whole lot of parts. And we've been kind of generally joked about being the gateway drug to the convention center. So it's just like we are the people that they bring their kind of they show in first and then expand from there and get bigger, better, different venues. But the garden itself is just an underground garden with a beautiful tree kind of providing support for the bunkers above it. And yeah, it was great when it kind of showed up because there was a few changes had to be made here and there, and but the builder was amazing and just kind of making those adjustments and being just really just kind of forthcoming with making it work.
And we're starting to see a few more here. I love the Candy Dream bunker. Great colors down there. Very Candyland-esque feeling to that one. Then you've got the sort of purple one up above that is really fun. But then one that really caught my eye this time is what do we have happening up here?
So yeah, this is the last chance saloon bunker. So if you have a saloon, you might as well have a mechanical bull. So but yeah, we got all sorts of characters just enjoying time together. Once again, we got another billiards table, and it just had that old kind of Western feel. And the builder for that actually think does a lot in the Western kind of style. So you'll probably see other builds throughout the hall with that style and twist on it. But yeah, anytime we can get motion, the mechanical bull was amazing. The builder mentioned a few different times that when he was first kind of putting it together, he had the gearing in reverse. So when he turned it on the first time, the mechanical bull shook itself apart. So he quickly figured out kind of how to tone it down and get the speed he wanted. So it still looks, that looks like that would hurt, right? I don't want to ride that for 8 seconds. But it holds together, and the Lego, the friction, and everything works really well.
Up top, you've got the kind of car shop modifications going on, a big armory in there as well. Is always much needed for the bunkers.
Yeah, a little comment about the car shop that's fun is that was in a previous maybe 1 year or 2 years ago, but it was down below, and you'll notice here that there's a garage door. You couldn't really get in there last year. It was a little bit difficult, but now you can. The benefits of being overflow.
Yeah, so now you can back the car right into an antenna, just like most people do. So
works perfect. we've got just a very colorful pig one here.
Yeah, so the pigs, the purple hats were actually individual elements in foils. So they started collecting these animals, and then just like, hey, I got all these elements. What am I going to do with it? So they used it as a seed to figure out, what can I build with this? And that's what they came up with, when pigs can fly. So we got a few pigs with wings. We got a pig on a skateboard there in the center on a half pike, and just
one, right?
exactly, yeah.
And in case you thought all law and order was gone, we've still got some police up here.
Exactly. Yeah, that was once again a late submission that happened kind of overnight. They saw the bunkers, they really liked the theme, so they went home, dumped out their bulk, and just went to town. Right. So they presented that. I think it was Friday morning. Just kind of showed up and said, "Hey, this happened overnight. My kid just did it. Do you want to display it?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's put it up." So, yeah, the police theme is excellent, right? Because we had a few, prisons over the years, but we still need one, right? We still need some law and order. Right?
And John's showing the sushi there right now, which is great. I love the minifigures and just kind of how expressive everyone is in there. Down below that, we've got, is that Ice Planet?
It is, yeah. So Ice Planet 20, it looks like 2002 Survival Bunker. So if I'm thinking correctly, it's kind of themed off of a popular movie and things. And yeah, it's great to see just that continued creativity, and just everybody has their own little theme that they like to throw in there.
And then I love how packed in down here you've got the Lego Builder studio with all of the parts nicely organized in the castle build.
That was another one that the builder brought it and said, "This is a representation of my life. My life has been overran by Lego, and I love it to death. So this is actually a representation of the builder's house." So the storage, the fact that there's unbuilt sets stacked on top of the storage, on top of the fridge. They have unsorted Lego in boxes all over the place. The builder also mentioned that on their dining room table, they have a castle build. So the castle is an actual representation of what's preoccupying their dining room table at home. And it's always nice when you have families and spouses and things that are both understanding and embrace the hobby as well.
Now, I'm a little afraid to ask, but what is happening up here in this bunker?
So yeah, the larder has come back as previous years. Just like the recycled food, occasionally food becomes scarce, and you have to kind of figure out what you're going to do to kind of make ends meet. And hot dogs seem to be the way to go. So
You don't want to analyze that too long and see what's really going on there, because you might not be hungry anymore.
Yep. Yeah, and then what we make down below, we sell up on top for the other wasteland and people that are still on the top side of the end of the world.
And it looks like kind of a couple of arcade rooms down below that.
Yeah, so when you're stuck in a bunker, you got to have some way to kind of relax and pass the time, things like that, and the arcade is a great way to do it. So yeah, we have quite a few actually rec, right? We have the library, we have a lot of restaurants this year again, the arcade, a bowling alley that we'll see later on. It's just a lot of really fun ways just kind of, figure out what your bunker life is going to look like.
I love this one with the tent down here as well, and like the rope there, so it just feels very serene in the middle of all this.
That's one of my favorites. Unfortunately, I don't know too much about the build itself, but it's a fantastic color palette, and they've even got some clouds on the side of the wall. I'm not sure how you get clouds underground, but what the heck? Use your imagination, right?
Next to that is some really nice lighting in these two, which I love because it really helps you appreciate a lot of the details.
Yeah, absolutely. The use of light to make things pop, and the variety of lights they're using. So we have like the cool white, we have the deep warm red in the sauna. There's a little blue like up there in the shower that the individual is kind of really trying to figure out why he's being stared at by a very giant camera at the moment. And then down below you have a beautiful Lego room, Lego store type build area where everybody's just kind of communal and coming together and just building Lego and passing the time.
And what is this flashlight happening here?
Well, we got to power the bunker somehow. So we have a giant Lego torch that's shining into some solar panels that is providing the energy needed to light everybody else. So it's
This is similar to, if you remember last year, we had a communication bunker that was using one of these Target collabs where you had real human-sized Lego pieces. That's kind of what that is. That's actually a Lego flashlight that works. I think the builder said he bought it at Target. But he thought, I need to make a bunker out of this. And it worked out really well.
And I love the characters up here. So some really unique stuff. What is the story of this?
Yeah, so this was another one that kind of showed up, I think it was late on Friday. And the builder said, hey, I have this 13 wide bunker that I like to display. And my first thought was, oh God, how am I going to make this fit?
Because you guys kind of have the standard, and so you've got to fit it within that.
Yeah, so it's 16 by 16 cubes. But as long as you stay within that multiple, you can go as far as you want. We just didn't expect anybody to take it to the length of 13. And they were even mentioning that they don't have any tables at home that they could display the whole thing. So it was like here or never. It's like, all right, we'll make it work. So we got this wonderful kind of story that kind of progresses left to right, actually. And it just kind of gets a little bit more wild as you go. So the builder themselves kind of integrated their own life into it a little bit about kind of what they do for work and things like that. And then on the far left, we got them just kind of chilling and relaxing and enjoying life. And then as you get closer to kind of the lab, which has the teddy bears that have become sentient and are trying to make their fellow teddy bears sentient as well. Further on to that, you get your potion, your brewery type thing. And that potion isn't doing exactly what they thought it was going to do. It's actually starting to turn some of these individuals into these unicorn things that we see kind of wandering through. And so they're trying to continue to kind of spread that potion and increase their numbers as it goes. And then back in the water tank, we have, I think it was mentioned that we have someone actually swimming with the fishes or sleeping with the fishes, depending on how long they've been in there. So. But yeah, once again, a real creative build. They put in their own personality, what they do for a living and what they enjoy and things like that. And then just telling a really interesting, just post-apocalyptic, like things are going wrong in a hurry type story.
No, that is very, very fun. Then I also love the ball pit down here, which I think is really great too. So something I think a lot of people are familiar with. Another very colorful pink room up here is really nice. But then a whole connected section here where you get just very white, which there isn't a lot of white in the layout up to this point.
There is, yeah, and trying to organize the color palette so I don't collect all of the bright colors in one spot has been a challenge. But yeah, the luxury bunker here, which is, it's titled, "This is what 500,000 a month will get you," which is the going rate for bunkers in the post-apocalyptic world. Yeah, it's just kind of a showcase of just if you have the money to spend, what is that going to look like? And the inspiration for this was the builder was watching on YouTube various videos about like these huge mansions, these
Architectural Digest.
yeah, just ridiculous, over the top, way too much money type properties. And I was just like, well, if that was going to be a bunker, what would over the top look like? And they nailed it.
And it really, it's really so bright. Part of the reason it's so bright is that there's a lot of lights in there, but it's also all white, so the white really reflects the light nicely.
Down below, we've got power miners, which was a really great theme, something I had a lot of when I was younger. So it's nice to see that represented here, kind of working through to the little rock monsters there on the left side. But then right next to that is this penguin kind of Antarctic feeling themed one.
Yeah, so penguin pool party. Once again, if you're gonna have to bring wild animals down, what is that gonna look like? So it's kind of a nice representation of someone that turned up the AC just a little bit too high in their bunker and is accommodating the penguins that they've rescued from a local zoo.
And then what's happening above that?
So yeah, above that is the Dragon's Keep, or the Last Dragon's Keep is the title of the build itself. And yeah, if you're gonna have to keep a dragon with its hoard of gold happy and content, what do you have to have? You have to have some livestock to continue to feed it with. So that's that.
Always love to see Tron represented in here as well.
Yep, Tron came back for another year, which is always great. And the amount of repeats that we get from year to year is always fun because they come back, they do new things, they make little changes, they add more lights, those sorts of things. It really grows with the collab. And then this year we did a quick little count, and just about 50% of the bunkers we're featuring this year are brand new to this year. We haven't seen them before. And a lot of those are also new builders that haven't done a Cascade or a convention. So once again, kind of joking about like the gateway drug, right? This is their first mock, their first, public display, those sorts of things. And it's great to just be a part of that.
That's really neat that you were able to do that and help builders kind of get interested in the show. That takes us then to the gray section here. So what is happening in this?
Yeah, so this is our St. Last Hope Hospital. It was a build that was done by a single individual, and it was just if you need health care, right? If you're trying to recover from your potions from the earlier bunker, where are you gonna go, right? Who are you gonna call? So we got a hospital here with a helipad up on top, bringing people in all over from the wasteland, and our last transit does the same.
Very, very cool. I love that. The bus looks fantastic. So once again, guys, just fantastic work. Thanks for all your work organizing this here. That's always so much fun. Is this going to continue to happen next year if people see this and want to get involved?
Oh, yeah. In fact, we've talked about that a couple of years ago. We thought, hey, this will be the last year, with Perry, who's the guy who created it. And we said, no. And then lately it's made very clear that, like, if we couldn't stop it if we wanted to. If we did, there would be, like, an outcry. So we're going to keep doing it every year. We're going to try to make it bigger. We're going to have to do some interesting space planning to figure out how to make that work. But it's been fun for the builders, and it's been fun for us.
I've always thought it would be very cool to see something that's like a whatever's happening kind of outside of these bunkers coming in and invading the space throughout. So possibly incorporating more from maybe something outside of the bunkers or something in the future. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, so there's been a couple different ideas as far as co-collaborative type stuff with various other themes in Bricks Cascades and things like that. So yeah, that'll probably be something that we continue to pursue, and as we continue to grow, and it's just figuring out how to organize that is the trick without making it so other builders also can't. We don't want to push anybody out. This is a very very open kind of forum. It's just like anybody can bring something in. So we want to do that as much as we can. And it's been interesting over the last couple of years to see kind of how the theme of bunkers and the design guide has kind of grown to other themes and other places around the nation. I don't think the two individuals that started this whole thing on a napkin in a cafe one morning thought that A, it was going to get this big, and B, it was going to get so widespread to where other people are taking that element and making it their own.
So before we end the video, one last time, what were the stats for this year? Because I know it's bigger and better than ever.
Yeah, so we're featuring, it's 47 individual builders for 90 individual bunkers for a total of 225 units, which is a 16 by 16 square, which completely blew the record from last year out of the water. We had 175-ish units last year, and 225 is just incredible.
Yep. Fantastic. Can't wait to see it grow next year. Thank you so much, guys.
We're looking forward to it, too.